So I'm going to do this live video while I marinate or get the marinade ready for my dinner tonight because I seem to be having this issue. Please tell me I'm not the only person who forgets to marinate things. Like I'll get to the end of the day when it's time to start thinking about dinner and then I realize, oh my gosh, I did not marinate the chicken. I did not marinate the salmon. And that's what I'm doing today. But as I am getting this recipe ready, first of all, it's so much easier than I thought it was. I'm sure you guys have made this. So it says it's air fryer honey garlic salmon. I don't know how to use the air fryer. I'm gonna have to outsource this and have Pat make sure he operates the air fryer. But you guys who are watching, is it easy? Is it easy to use my air fryer? I usually just have Pat do it because I don't know how to operate the air fryer or the Instant Pot. But regardless, the recipe is so easy, and then I'll tell you what I'm actually talking about today. All it needs is honey, garlic, and soy sauce. We use cocoa aminos because Pat is, he's got celiac, so we can't do soy sauce. But isn't that interesting? It's 3 ingredients, so easy. And all it needs to marinate is 30 minutes, but you guys know how it is. The longer you marinate something, the better it tastes. But what I'm talking about as I get this marinade ready is, so today in my morning post, I posted a carousel about the difference between premenopause, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And so I want to talk about that first. And then I want to talk about how perimenopause is not a death sentence. Postmenopause is not a death sentence. So you guys, most of us are going to spend a third of our lives postmenopausal. A third of your life. A third of your life. So we really have to shift this conversation about what it means to get older, right? I don't want you thinking that the last third of your life is gonna suck, right? So that's the conversation that I wanna have after I finish explaining the difference between peri-menopause, and postmenopause. So first off, your premenopausal years go from when you start your period to when you start perimenopause. So it is your reproductive years. Even if you choose not to have babies, and I know a lot of us have a hard time getting pregnant. You guys all know I went through IVF. In theory, it's your childbearing years. So you could get pregnant. You are ovulating, you're having a monthly cycle, etc. So that is premenopause. Now, perimenopause, this starts to kick in. I mean, some people start it as early as 35, they say. Some people move into perimenopause early 40s. Some people move into perimenopause mid 40s. But think that area-ish, 40-ish. So like when you ask me, Kylie, which program should I do? First question I ask is, how old are you? If you're in your 40s, I'm going to direct you towards Revive. So for example, I had a lovely woman message me yesterday. She's like, I'm 45. I'm not experiencing any perimenopausal symptoms. And I was like, yeah, but if you're not in perimenopause, it's around the corner. So I would still recommend Revive for you. And there's like weird things that we don't think about being perimenopausal. Or like if you all of a sudden notice your mood shifting, like out of nowhere, you legit feel like a wacky, crazy woman. And I say that with love, because I mean, that's one of my symptoms. You're perimenopausal. So that's perimenopause. Comes with a whole host of symptoms I'm not talking about today. I recently did a post about that, but it's wild and none of them sound great. It's nothing like, oh, my hair got so luscious. Oh, my breasts just got so firm. Like when you're pregnant, you know, and you're like, oh, you're glowing. Oh, I don't know, like your hair grows crazy because you're taking prenatal vitamins. That's not what perimenopause is like. But also we don't need to fear it because we can work with it as our hormones change. Then a lot of women will also say, I'm menopausal. Now, menopause is actually just one moment in time. I want you to think about Kelly Clarkson. One moment. No, it's not Kelly Clarkson, but you know the song One Moment in Time. I'll spare you the singing. Perimenopause marks 12 months without you having a period. So your cycle is going to shift and change as you are in perimenopause. For a lot of us, it gets shorter. So like a normal, quote unquote, normal menstrual cycle is like 27, 28 days. It's gonna shorten. So like my cycle, it's shortened just a little bit. Sometimes it's like 25, which every 25 days, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm ready to start my period again. Great. But then also your actual like period might shorten. So there's a bright side, but not for everyone. Sometimes it gets worse. Again, just talking about these lovely perimenopausal symptoms. 1.5 tablespoons. Oh, I don't measure anything anymore, so I just put in too much. So that is menopause. It's just 12 months marking the date that you have not had your period. Postmenopause is everything beyond that. Again, a third of our lives, for most of us, will be spent post-menopausal. So this is why we have to shift the conversation. And I want to share something that Coach Lisa shared yesterday in her Instagram. And I want to have her on live with me next week so we can all talk about it. The whole purpose of our Revive program is to empower you. I don't want us all sitting around and bitching and moaning about how it sucks getting older. Can we have our moments? Yes, we can. But guess what? Guess what comes with postmenopause? A whole lot of freedom. A whole lot of freedom. Think about how, for a lot of you, how much your life changes each month, like throughout the month, because of your cycle, right? I have friends who have horrible PMS symptoms, horrible periods, horrible, like all this stuff. Like they are not themselves for a week every single month. That will be gone. You don't have to worry about getting pregnant anymore. What? I know a lot of you aren't interested in having sex right now because that's also a symptom of perimenopause, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and a lot of us not wanting to have sex doesn't really have anything to do with hormones, but it has more to do with the stress that we're all dealing with. Conversation for another topic, but check out my friend Dr. Jordan Wiggins for more information on that. But you don't have to worry about getting pregnant. But there's other things that are positives, and I want to share what Coach Lisa said yesterday. So this is what she says. And this all happened during, postmenopausal. And that's what's nice about our group. You've got me, who's currently in perimenopause, like a lot of you. And then you've got Coach Lisa, who's made it to the other side, right? And she has her positive story to tell. But it was not a positive experience while she was in perimenopause, right? That was not pretty. Hopefully you saw her pictures. I've got another round of pictures of hers to share with you guys. So number one, I no longer let the scale rule how my day will go. That's awesome. I don't have fear around food, and a lot of this came with just tracking macros and understanding nutrition periodization and how our bodies work. Now here are the big like postmenopausal light bulbs that go off, and this comes with aging, right? You guys know women as they get older, they just give less fucks. They're more confident. They're more sure of themselves. They're not going to waste their time on things that don't matter. And that's what's available to all of us if we let it. So then she goes on to say, I don't beat myself up anymore in any way. I don't punish my body with exercise. I don't speak meanly to myself, and I practice self-compassion. Fourth thing, I'm okay with being myself. She can sit in stillness and be alone with her thoughts. I know a lot of people struggle with that. They just can't sit still. I'm like, well, why? Why can't you just be in the quiet? Why can't you just be with yourself? And then finally, I don't care what others think of me. I'm living my life for me. I don't care about appearances. I only want to be genuine to me. So this is that freedom that we talk about, right? Within your element, we're talking about freedom with food, freedom from an exercise schedule, freedom in our mentality of how we think about diet and exercise. With Revive, it's all of that, but letting go of so much other stuff. Because I wish we could all embrace that when we're younger. I think a lot of us have to learn these lessons the hard way, but with age comes wisdom. And you start to realize what's worth your time, what's worth your energy, what's worth your attention. So we don't have to, thank you so much. You don't have to dread menopause. Look for people who have gone through it, who are examples of what you want to be like. I am very lucky. I am surrounded by a lot of women who are older than me, who act and feel and look, not that that matters so much, not their age, or they do look their age, but they're living this free life. That's what you want. I mean, that's what I want. I see women older than me lifting heavier than me. I see women older than me, running successful businesses. I see women older than me chasing after their dreams. Menopause is not the end. Perimenopause is not the end. Perimenopause is the transition. Menopause is that one point in time. Postmenopause is the rest of your life. Like, let that sink in. Why? I don't want to dread, I don't want to hate the last third of my life. I hated the second third of my life, right? I don't want to, and I say that jokingly, but if you've heard me talk about my 20s, it was not a great time for me. It was not a positive time in my life. And not because I suffered from addiction or I had anything really bad going on. It was just a really hard time for me. So I'm not about to hate the final third of my life when I spent so much time like not really enjoying my younger years. That's no life to live. And this is the kind of conversation that we need to start having. One of the best ways to deal with perimenopause is to surround yourself with other women who are in your same shoes. Then you can all talk about dry vaginas together. Then you can all talk about how, I don't know, all the other fun symptoms, the hot flashes, the incontinence, the waking up in the middle of the night, the mood swings, the lack of desire. You're going to feel less alone. When we don't talk about it, not only do we not know what's going on, we feel alone, and it makes us suffer. But we don't need to suffer through this. I mean, it's going to be a hard enough transition. Even if you're like doing all the things, you're lifting weights, you're doing the sprint training, you're eating enough, your hormones are going to do what your hormones are going to do. So why not make it as easy as we can? And part of that, making it easy, is shifting our perspective. So I would encourage you to sit down and think, what does getting older mean to me? What do I want the final third of my life to look like? Something that I struggle with, and I will be so honest with you, is I put a lot of time and energy into my physical appearance. Can I let go of that? Can I have that not be such an important part of my life? Right? This is a huge opportunity for growth for all of us. Transitions are always tricky. I've been talking a lot about that lately. But what's on the other side is up to you. We're all going to go through this. This is a unifying factor for all females. We will not all choose to have children, but we will all experience perimenopause. So we need to educate ourselves, we need to talk about it, and we need to support each other. Because we don't need to suffer and dread and dislike that final third of our life. So anyway, the salmon is now marinating. I'll keep you posted and let you know how it turns out. If you guys have any questions about perimenopause, about our Revive program, we are starting August 28th. I recently pushed the date back a week because so many people messaged me saying that they were out of town. I also had a couple coaches who were wrapping up vacation, so it just works better for everyone to start not next Monday, but the following Monday, the 28th. I'd love to have you join. If you want more information, just shoot me a DM and I will send you to the website, answer any questions that you have. You guys have a fabulous, fabulous day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.